Hi everyone, my name is Leroy from Intune Instruments based here in Dubai, UAE. In today's video, I'm going to demonstrate to you as to how we do fret leveling, recrowning and repolishing on a classical guitar. So let's head over to the workbench and get started on the job. So I have here on the workbench a beautiful concert quality Yulong Go classical guitar. It's actually a double top guitar. From what I understand, it's a spruce top with cedar beneath the Nomex, and also it's a double back and sides. It's got maple lining along with Ziracote at the back and sides. But what we have on this brand new guitar is a bit of problem. As you will notice, as I move straight edge across the frets, there are a couple of frets. As you will notice over here, a couple of frets which are uneven. There's a lot of rocking in certain sections of the fretboard. So what we're going to do now is basically take out the strings and then mask the guitar and then mark the high spots and then start with the fret leveling job. So now, since we have masked the fretboard and a part of the soundboard, so let's get started with marking the high spots on the frets on the guitar. It's fine so far here. It's a bit of rocking around this section. Mark that. Typical neck to body junction problem. And all over here too. So as you can see, the problem generally arises around here. I'm checking it with 25 centimeter, or you could say roughly a 10-inch straight edge. There's a little bit of fall off over here, which is a good thing. But then you have this extended all over here. We need to take care of that. There's a gap over here. Generally on a classical guitar, when I'm doing fret leveling, I like to leave the first fret a bit high. It gives a better clearance across the section of the string, and you tend to avoid touching any, especially these few frets over here. So I prefer to leave this untouched. So let's highlight all the frets before we start the leveling process. And we'll do this several times. Now, since the height of the frets is not really much, we don't have much clearance, I'm only going to use the leveling beam for this. I don't overly take off too much of real estate from the frets. So even if this section doesn't remain, leveled out of file, it's fine because I like to have a bit of a roll off from this fret onwards. So here, the leveling beam, we're gonna, generally the classical guitar generally have a straight radius, sometimes a radius of 20-inch something, so very mild radius. So we can pretty much go, our strokes can be just up and down with a bit of side strokes. So I'll explain how we do that. Again, allowing the sanding beam to do its job without applying any excessive pressure. Leaving that first fret pretty much untouched. Just checking to see if the trouble areas have been taken care of. Seems to be fine over here. And there we have it. All spots already addressed. So now that we've leveled the frets, we'll take care of the fret ends. We want to have that nice and rounded, no sharp edges to cut against the fingers. Because when you do level the frets, some of the ends of the frets tend to be sharpened a bit. We want to make sure we round that carefully. And this is where the guard helps. As you can see, the file is touching over here. It's protecting the file from scratching the fingerboard. It also gives me a little bit of freedom of movement. So now that we have leveled the frets, taken care of the fret ends, it's now time to get the centers of the crown perfect as across the lay of the neck or the fingerboard. And the way we do that is first we mark it. So let's get all these frets marked nicely. And then I come in with a fret crowning file, leaving the center of the crown of the frets untouched. So I'll show you how we do it in a while. So I have a Hosco large fret recrowning file, place it in an angle, again leaving the center untouched and moving it across the frets. Okay, so I'll start with the first fret. Again, we didn't touch the first fret, so I'll leave that untouched, just a little bit over there. And if, I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but as you can see, the center section of the fret, you can still see the marker over there. And that means I am not touching the center of the crown of the frets. Now this particular guitar has an elevated fretboard, which makes the recrowning bit, especially around the neck to body junction, a bit easier because it's a bit elevated. So I can move across this section with ease. I'll come around this side and do a couple of light passes. So now that we've done this, let's clean up all the shavings, fret filings from the fingerboard. So it's now time to remove the filing marks. And what I have with me over here is different grits of sandpaper. So I have a 320, it's a bit mixed up at the moment, a 400, and I go on to a 600, 800, 1200, and a 2000. And what I use over here is, again, this is something which I purchased from String Tech in Canada. If anybody is interested, please get in touch with Mike and be happy to kind of send you one of his fretting kits. It's a bit of EVO foam wrapped on a block which is curved at the end. So allows me to kind of get all the frets beveled nicely across the fretboard evenly. So as you see, once you see the whole job completed, you probably notice that as if the fretboard hasn't been ever touched. So I like to secure the guitar a bit before I get on with this job. And again, moving strokes up and down the fretboard. What we're doing over here, we're not changing the level of the frets, but we're just basically taking out the tooling mark. So now since we've sanded down and removed all the tooling marks, it's now time to take the polishing to a next step. What I have here with me is jeweler's rouge and a buffing wheel basically attached to a hand drill. I'm just going to apply some jeweler's rouge. It needs to heat up a bit before you actually get rouge onto this buffing wheel. Lightly buffing the frets. The thing is, with jeweler's rouge, you don't really take out any much kind of fret material. You're just kind of polishing the frets. So now let's take off the masking tape. So this is, I think, a 000 or 0005 grade of steel wool, and as you can see, the shine coming back onto the frets. And lastly, we'll condition the fretboard with some lemon oil. And using some Dunlop lemon oil, condition the fretboard. And as you can see, the fretboard just looks lovely. The frets look as if they were untouched. Guitar fretboard looks as good as its original condition. And what's more important, it's going to play lovely. You're not going to have any buzzes across the fretboard. So let's do the final acid check to see if the job is being done properly. So let's take our 4-inch straight edge, and as you will notice, there is no buzzing whatsoever all across the fretboard. All the high spots have been taken care of. The frets have been polished as smooth as we can get. And all the high spots have been addressed. So if you've stayed with me till the end watching this video, thanks for watching. Please do subscribe to our channel or like or comment. And as you would probably have noticed, we've kind of taken care of all the high spots on the fretboard. We've leveled, we've taken care of the fret ends, we've recrowned the frets, polished the whole fretboard, polished the frets. And as you will notice, it's as if the guitar hasn't been touched before. So that's how we do it here at Intune Instruments. Thank you for watching.